let's do A Most Wanted Man, which is one of the last performances by Philip Seymour Hoffman. Anton Corbijn's film. Anton Corbijn, of course, was a photographer originally. I mean, best known originally for his rock photographs and videos. Did Control and The American. I think Anton Corbijn came on the show when he did The American, didn't he? Is that right? Yes. So this is based on John le Carré's novel, I think, is it? 2000s. Anyway, so it's a post 9/11 thriller set in Hamburg. Philip Seymour Hoffman is Günther Bachmann, who is a German intelligence operative who is caught in the middle of this strange game of cat and mouse in which there is a young man, a Chechen man who is in Hamburg, who he believes is going to be involved in some kind of terrorist transfer of money. Meanwhile, we have Willem Dafoe playing a banker who is the person who holds all the purse strings. And purse strings, I beg your pardon, all the purse strings. And then we have a CIA operative played by Robin Wright who is in the background and kind of appears to be letting him do what he wants to do, but is also ready to pounce, because actually what everybody wants to know is if there's a dangerous man on the street, why don't we just pick him up now? Here's a clip.
Günther Bachmann? Martha Sullivan, U.S. Embassy, Berlin. I know you by reputation, of course.
It can't be good.
Men with good reputations usually aren't much use to me.
What about women? This is my colleague, Anna Frey.
Hello? Hello.
She sails and spies. I don't sail. Hamburg's a long way from Berlin. What are you doing here?
Me, I'm just an observer.
I've been observed by Americans before. It usually doesn't end well.
From what I'm hearing, we're not the ones you need to be worrying about.
So it's a film which hangs very much on Philip Seymour Hoffman's central performance, which is very bedraggled, very downbeat, very dour, very kind of depressed by the milieu in which he finds himself. And the whole story does have a very kind of paranoid, post 9/11, cynical, sort of downbeat. It's a portrait of a world in which everybody is kind of double-crossing everybody else. Nobody trusts. I mean, very much, the themes that we're talking about in terms of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, we're saying that in the end that was probably a story about men not trusting other men rather than being a film about espionage and about spying. In the case of this, what it's about is it's about the post 9/11 malaise. It's about a world in which everything has become paranoid and suspicious, in which all the different elements are all attempting to sort of figure out each other's motives as much as the motives of the people they're trying to track down. I mean, it eschews the clean lines of The American, which was a film which was sort of very visually stylish, had a very kind of, there was a lot of stuff in The American which was to do with tactility and things being slotted together in a way that was kind of almost like watching a watch being put together. This is tonally much closer to Tinker Tailor. I don't think it's without flaws. I think that some of the English language dialogue just doesn't really quite work. There are devices in terms of German speaking English to each other in German accents, which rubs up oddly against the strange sort of authentic air that the film is aiming for. Solidly good performances. Nina Hoss, very good. Robin Wright, very, very good. But at the centre of it, really, it is a film built around the performance of Philip Seymour Hoffman. And it's hard to think of somebody else who would be able to carry the role as well as he does. I mean, he is spectacularly bedraggled. He is somebody who looks, that phrase, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. He does. Everything about the way he carries himself is exactly that. His shirt is hanging out, and he looks genuinely world-weary. People talk an awful lot in movies about, somebody looks like they've got that, they look world-weary, and quite often not the case at all. Obviously, the whole thing is lent an added air of poignancy by the fact that Philip Seymour Hoffman is no longer with us, and it is a great tragedy because, clearly he was described in one American newspaper as, arguably the most fated actor of his generation. And this is a film which is built around his performance. I don't know that the film itself is timeless or enduring in the way that perhaps Tinker Tailor would be, but it gives him space to mesmerise. It gives him space to capture our attention. So a flawed film, but a very fine central performance and a sort of an air of creeping, gnawing, paranoid miserablism that is pretty tangible. Although, again, that's not going on the poster, is it?